Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, am I really living the life I was meant to? Welcome to Female Fluence, where we stop waiting for permission and start remembering our power. I am Pearl Mashour, a mom, educator, and a women's empowerment coach. And this is a space for honest conversations about growth, purpose, and becoming who you truly are. Here, we wake up to ourselves. We release the guilt, reclaim our confidence, and rise with grace, truth, and a little bit of fire. If something in you is whispering, there's more, take the self-reflection quiz at femalefluence.com and see where you are in your journey. Because you're not here to play small, you're here to rise fully. It's never too late to be what you might have been. A favorite quote by George Eliot. You are never too old to change course and follow your passion. Choosing to follow your dreams in your 40s, in your 50s, or even 60s might mean starting over, but that doesn't mean starting from scratch. It means starting from experience. Just because you've reached a certain age and haven't yet had the time or energy or the opportunity to pursue your dreams doesn't mean you can't. So often we avoid taking action because not trying feels safer than failing, but being visible in your own life is essential. I also believe in celebrating who we are at every stage and refusing to let outdated stereotypes about aging hold us back. But maybe you ask yourself, how do I start? Where do I even begin? What if it's too late for me? The truth is that it's never too late. There's always a way forward, even if that way looks completely different from what you once imagined in your life. Society's timeline for success is a myth. Your dreams do not have an expiration date. What if your most powerful chapter begins when you stop listening to the clock and start listening to yourself? My guest today, Tally Koren, is a living example of what happens when you finally decide to listen to yourself, your intuition, and your dreams. In the late 90s, she arrived in London with just one suitcase and a vision, and against all odds, transformed that dream into an international singing career. From a challenging childhood to charting alongside Rihanna in her 60s, Tally's journey is really a testament to resilience, reinvention, and the power of believing in your own worth. In this episode, she opens up about overcoming family objections, navigating the music industry with authenticity, and profound healing power of art. Together, we explore what it means to stay true to you, yourself. Embrace your revolution, follow your passion no matter where or when your story begins. Because as she shows us, it's never too late to create the life and the legacy you were born with. Tally, welcome to Female Fluence. I'm so excited to have you here today. And she's talking to us from all the way from Scotland. So we're really grateful for you taking the time. And I know the time difference is hard and you have a busy schedule. So welcome.
Thank you. What a beautiful introduction, not only about me, the depths of the way you explain my life or what we are going to talk. I know we're going to have an amazing conversation.
Yes, definitely. So let's start you telling us about your journey, who you are a little bit. I touched on it some, but when did you just first knew that singing was something you were meant to do?
Age 3. I think most of the time people know at a very young age what they love. I was singing on the table, imitating singers and entertaining the family. So it was all there. But then, things happen that they made our journey to be not as it meant to be. In my case, it was singing competition, local charity that my mother was there and I was singing. I was really good, but I was imitating a very famous singer. And I got only 7 points. And no, sorry, I was number seven. And my mother, so it was one before the end, and my mother was so upset that her daughter didn't win. She
Right.
behaved yeah, she was dramatic. She left the charity and she caused me such a trauma. I stopped singing. That's it. That's it. And that's what happened to so many children, that something happened then in their childhood, and that's it. They
So
shut
how
down.
how old were you at that competition?
7, 8 years old, I shut the dream out. And I had other talents, like I was the fastest runner, swimmer, dancing, ballet, painting. This is another thing that we will talk about, that one need to focus on one thing in life. So we will touch it later on. But when my mother were, I always saying, if she would have behaved in a
Differently.
different way and come and say, Tally, you were brilliant. Next time, we will find out what kind of competition it is and what they want, and you'll try and you might win next time. And if not next time, it will be
Exactly.
another time. Look at Andrew Murray, the tennis player, how long it took him, and his mother went with him. And there's so many examples of a parents that is there. And yes, so with me, it was the opposite.
Yeah. So do you think, I mean, because parents' roles are so important and that, especially in that time of your life, and it stays with you. How do you think that rejection changed you or created a different version of you today?
It's definitely created a different version, and I'm not regretting it because, we all have a path. And if we follow really the spiritual path, we understand what has happened. So if I won that competition, or I would continue that path of being a singer, it's the age of 8, 9, 10, 11. So probably I would have become a singer at a much younger age, probably already at 15, 16. And I would not become the unique version of myself as an artist, which took me so many years. And even now I think I'm there, but to craft who you are as an artist,
Hmm.
because there is a difference between being a singer, like Whitney Houston, singer that they have just like unbelievable voices, to be
Yes.
an artist. And with me, I was already an artist with that low voice, but I was copying a singer, so I was not really understanding what I'm doing. What I understood later, I've chosen at the age of 13, 14 to become a model, to look only on the outside of myself. I thought, right, some people like blonde girls, some people like brunette, some people like, I didn't understand that the same applies to music. Some people like low voice, some people like
Mm.
just musicals. I go to musicals, I fall asleep. I cannot go to musicals or opera. And it doesn't mean that it's not good, but
It's your
that,
preference, right?
yes. So I think that's what has changed me, because there was here a journey to become who I am, which is a combination of the spiritual journey and what I want to give to the world with this gift. So, yes, so long journey, but I'm on the path.
Yes, that's what matters now, right? So can you share with us actually how old are you today to inspire the listeners to, like I said in my intro, like it's never too late. It doesn't matter because I think your story is so inspiring.
I'm 61 and a half. When I had, yeah, because in May I will be 62. But when I reached 60, I really sincerely felt that I'm just starting my life. Everything until now is preparation. It's all
Mhm.
preparation. But I see people near me that they're at that age already talking. Oh, when we get old, we have the pain, we have this, we have
Yes,
that.
yes.
It's in their conscious, and I'm just flourishing every day. And I'm telling you, I haven't started my life. I haven't started. And the reason I'm saying it, it's the full potential that I believe we need to reach as a
Mhm.
human being to be very happy, content, happy without frustration, and not just to look all the time to things to fill that void that
Yeah.
people have. They do everything, include money, include traveling. So all the things are good, but fulfill your potential for me is number one for happiness and freedom.
I love
So
that. And it's the mindset, as I always say on this show, is number one. And if we think we're old, then we will act old and we believe we're old. And then we'll have all these extra pains and aches because all of a sudden, like you're saying, it's like the moment people have either like they're 50. I even hear people at 40. It's like, I'm 40 and everything has changed. My body hurts. Everything is different now. And I just that it's like you're giving your brain that message, and that's what your brain is going to, that's going to be the result of the brain's going to say, okay, you want to be old, you want to act old, I'm going to give this gift to you.
that is exactly, we are on the same path, and that's why we're here. And when I look back, I'm saying that in a way I've chosen the hard journey because at 1995 I had Americans that saw me performing live. I had a contract for 10 years to move to America. And one of them was a neighbor of Quincy Jones and really wanted to make me a star. But he already told me to sit straight. He already wanted me to fix the teeth. Uh, he wanted me to be a product. Now, we're all brands, and I'm working very hard to be a brand, but my brand is something much more holistic,
Yes.
authentic, deep. Yes, I have a glamorous look, which always, that's what made the journey to be a bit more difficult. That when you have a look that is kind of different than what is your soul, so you can see in history a lot of famous sex symbols that suffered in their life.
Yes, trying to
That,
keep that brand that wasn't really them.
yeah, 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 yeah. And then when you
Very
have
true.
a record label, they control you. So I had many opportunities in this country, other countries. I all the time sabotage them. And now it's a new year and I'm coming to do a remix. Lately, I'm doing remixes. That's where I'm in the chart with Rihanna, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, all the top people with no budget almost. It's only club chart. I'm still not at the Billboard. But if I would have put just a little bit of money,
Mhm.
I would have been in the Billboard with them. It's simple as that. It's a money game. Of course, you need to have the talent,
Yes.
the music, but it's money. But it's fine. I'm doing it in my own way. But what I'm saying, the song that I've chosen to be the focus of 2026 is a song that brought me to my first fame here, or let's say recognition. We all need some recognition. We cannot just live with a dream. So
Yes.
I came here with one suitcase, didn't have, it was very tough, but after a few years, I finally got as a DIY artist to become in the playlist of the BBC, which is the biggest achievement with a song that's called Beauty of the Duty. The chorus is exactly what you were talking about in your introduction. The only thing that holds you back is you. The only thing that holds you back is you. The only thing that holds you back is you. The only thing that holds you back, that holds you. So this is gave me fame in 2011, and the universe gave me a wonderful opportunity to make my dreams at the level that I want. I was not ready. I didn't look for the right publisher, for the right manager. I didn't do at the time the right things. The ego was overexcited.
Hmm.
But we cannot regret, like I have in one of my songs, I never look back, I never regret. And that was 2012, 2013. My late husband, that was like yourself, a coach, very successful, got terminal ill cancer. So then
I'm
suddenly I
sorry.
had a new journey. And
Oh,
that journey was a gift. I have a song called The Gift because I turn the grief, I turn that difficulty to see how I can grow. And I grew a lot when I was in that hard time.
yeah.
And I've done a lot of things because when we are down, I believe we constantly need to do things, action to shift ourselves.
To make that shift.
Yeah, yeah. So I've
I
done it, I've done and done and done, and yeah.
I think that's beautiful. First of all, your voice was beautiful. Love the singing. And that song, I think that really can resonate to so many of us because it's our choice. And we have to step up and decide, do we want to step up or do we want to hold ourselves back? You have another song, Free Will. And I thought
Yes,
that name was so powerful. What does this song represent for you? And what message are you hoping your listeners will take from it?
yeah, that is my biggest gift, free will. I composed the words and the lyric almost in one take. In 1999, so I arrived at 1996 to London, let's say a few very difficult years. And then finally, I was settled in a flat Christmas Eve. I'm on my own, and chuck, I felt a bit emotion, put this keyboard, put E minor, and the words and the music came. Now, immediately when I wrote that song and made the first demo, people say, oh, that sounds like James Bond. People wanted to sign that song. So that song opened me so many doors. Also, some people wanted to give it to famous singers. But again, I haven't done it. I haven't done it. It's not that it just didn't feel right to give the song or to release it. And then in 2014, before my husband really, a few months before, I did a Kickstarter to ask people, what is Kickstarter when people pledge. And my idea was to inspire million people. And the inspiration is to choose because the chorus was in every breath I take, in every breath I take, I don't know what is on my way. I don't know what you bring to me. I know my will is free. In every step I make, and the same thing. So it's like every step, every breath, we have the choice to choose between good, bad, to be kind to ourselves and eat well, or be naughty like I'm going to be tonight because I'm tired. Be kind to others, or, not fulfill our dreams or just live on certainty. So it just the list go black, white,
Hmm.
love, hate, that's life. And although there are scientists that wrote books about it and saying free will is predicted, everything is predicted, they're not going to convince me, because Viktor Frankl, that survived 4 concentration camps,
Yeah.
he was talking, I'm sure you know, it's about the choice how we choose to look. So it's all the same thing, how we choose to look at 60s. And yeah, and I might be that 70 that I will create it at 70. No, no, I started my life now. I'm on the go. There is no anymore. Um, there is something really profound that I heard, that procrastination sometimes can be a result of not being ready.
Hmm.
So we kind of delay thing and delay thing. It can be also from fear. So we need to ask ourselves all the time, what holding us back, and be very, very honest with ourselves. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
free
definitely a key
will.
point. I think a lot of us have a lot of limiting beliefs. We're fearful. We're more comfortable being in our comfort zone than stepping up and being a little uncomfortable. And that's when you take that first step. So I
Yeah.
love your energy, though. I have to tell you, your energy is like it's coming to me all the way from Scotland. I love it. I feel like I need to start singing. I have a horrible voice, so I'm not going to, but we'll just have you do the singing. So you've accomplished so much already. What feels like the biggest dream you've brought to life so far?
I think in terms of achievement, so the BBC was big achievement, performing at the Royal Albert Hall was achievement, being in the chart number 9 just a month ago or 2 months ago, it's achievement, but that's not enough. This is just achievement. I think when I had the hardest time of when my husband was ill and I was in hospital by his bed when he had the chemotherapy, I said, right, I'm not going to feel just sorry for myself. I'm going to create something. And I created, for example, national schools poetry competition with the theme of peace. I taught children how to write poetry with the theme of peace. And that brought me to the House of Lord and to a lot of, respectful things that I've done, that also gave a lot of pride to my late husband to see what I've done. But so I'm always yeah, using the situation to grow, and the hard situation to grow.
That's
But
the
I haven't
best way.
started.
That's the best way to take that and make it into a gift, like you were saying with your other song. It's like that's your catalyst, and you grow and you just become better. And I mean, you're helping, like you're saying, with the children, you're giving back at the same time. That's,
Yeah.
helping them, and that's helping you even grow more because it's self-rewarding. Now, you have another song, Magical Powers, which has another intriguing title. Can you share the story or the inspiration behind that one?
So this is the best inspiration, that it's really suitable for what I was talking about, because I don't speak about the poetry competition and the national school competition that I created, because the world became with so much chaos and so much war. And I cannot believe that I've done all this amazing work. It's looked like a different world now. Saying that, I performed in a concert for peace organization, and a father came to me after and said, "Oh, I played Free Will." He said, "Oh, that's a lovely song, but do you have songs about peace?" I said, "Not really." And then he sent me that song of his girl that was at the time 13 called Magical Powers. I just couldn't believe what a child can write. And when I
Wow.
like something, I sit by the piano. That was the trigger for me to open all the poetry competition. And I performed that song at the Royal Albert Hall. The girl came there
Oh my
with the
goodness.
father. Yes. So it just, yeah. So I like if I had magical power, I like to just bring light. That's what Koren mean, light. I just like to bring everywhere and then I move on.
I got goosebumps with that story. That is really magical. And I'm so glad you did that. Like you honored her and you acknowledged her song and her talent. So that's just amazing. Now, who would you say is your biggest musical influence, the artist who shaped your sound or inspired you to become who you are today?
Not, it's a very good question. I think my journey would have been much easier if I had the answer, because when you look at bands, if it's a rock, they all from the Beatles were inspired by others, and then you have other people, Adele, Amy Whitehouse, they all were inspired by Billie Holiday. I kind of, maybe because of the trauma as a child that they said that I was not unique, I was not really looking to be like anyone else.
Hmm.
Saying that, of course, when I produce, I am co-producer of most of my work. So, Beauty of the Duty, the version that was successful at the BBC. So I worked on it for a year, and then suddenly I would come and say, "Oh, I like Lily Allen, she's a very cool singer. I like the drums in her track." So, I like I hear things and I'm saying, "Oh, I like that," and it just comes to my mind and I know when I want to use it. But Enigma was some band that I love. 7 Seconds was a song. I love Coldplay. If I was a male and I was 25 years old, I would want to be here. Seal. So all these singers, they didn't shape my sound, but I don't listen a lot to music because I like to be in creative mode, but there are several artists that I love very much.
Wonderful. I loved everyone that you said, especially Coldplay. So
Love Coldplay.
So now let's go back to touch on because I feel like there's a lot of parents out there kind of playing the same role as your mom was, right? We and put our kids in all these classes, whether I mean I was a dance mom myself. My daughter's not doing dance anymore. Her schedule is too crazy, but it was the same thing and I would witness it when I was waiting, in the audience the really, really hardcore dance moms that were like harsh with their kids. And it's like the kids could be really tiny, but it was just like, you need to get the gold, you need to get the diamond, the plat. And it's just they're highlighting the books, keeping score. I was there enjoying my daughter dance and having a good time. And it's like, whatever happened, happened. We're here to learn, grow, and have a great experience. So having said that, there's a lot of that goes on. It's dance, singing, competition, swimming, diving competitions, volleyball, lots of sports. And parents you see like the dad, in the bleachers, like freaking out in a basketball game or a baseball game, and that child just melts in front of everybody.
Terrible.
It's it's
Terrible.
it's horrible, right? So What do parents have a challenging role when it comes to recognizing and nurturing their children's talents? Do you feel, I mean, you already have mentioned that your parents could have supported you differently,
My
obviously.
goodness, 1 second, you could have sat in front of a swimming champion. I was the fastest in my team. I was swimming a few times a week professionally. It's the same age, 7, 8, 9, before we moved to Mexico. I was so afraid not to win that I never went to a competition. So in the training, I was faster than anyone else. I could have not go to and running, I was the fastest, but again, I was afraid to go to competitions, big ones, not to be number one. It's always that number
Number
one.
one.
And and let me tell you something even much worse than that. So parents, and it's all reflection of their issues.
Hmm.
They didn't fulfill. They don't know what is to be there. But even when I was 26, because I actually started back the career at the age of 26, living a golden cage. I had a multimillionaire husband, and I was like, that's not the life I want. My father came to visit me, and I played him the most beautiful first song that I composed. I never released it. It's so good that I cannot release. It's very sad. It's called Pain or The Pain. And my father hear it at the age I was 26, and then he said, "Why do you want to be a singer? You cannot sing like Celine Dion." Do you understand? That is the message number one. Then he said, "Why do you want to be a singer?" That was all happening that time. He said, "Your voice will be stuck when you're performing." What kind of thing you said? So even at the age of 26, he still had the distraction. And luckily, when I performed at the Royal Albert Hall, my late husband it was a month before or 2 months before he died. He said, "If your parents are coming, I'm not going." Why? He didn't want any curse that the subconscious will cause me not to be. So parents are doing so many mistakes. It just breaks my heart to see it. So please, any mom here or father, just support, nourish. Yes. So my mother pushed me to fame, but without nurturing, without that thing. So, and my father was just comparing. So from both sides, it was like perfectionism, which we know that holds you back when you want to
Holds you
be
back.
perfect.
It's a
That
cage.
is, if
Yes.
there is one of the things that hold me back was that I want to be perfect. So many photographers and producers, not fallen out. I am friendly, but I'm very difficult because I'm perfectionist. And when you don't pay a lot of money, you don't work with the same talent of people that get a lot of money. So, yes, so it's parents need to be more responsible for their role, I think.
I agree with you. That's hard to hear what you're telling me about your situation. Did your parents ever like I mean, I don't know, like that were they ever able to come to terms and come to your performance and finally say, "I'm sorry"? Was there ever a closure or that never happened for you?
No, no. So first of all, I started to succeed since 2011. I don't live in the same country. So sadly, no, no, of course. They saw me in Piccadilly in 2000. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They saw me at my glory already, me performing, never said sorry. But my last visit, I was sitting with my 92 father and said to him, "You know, Daddy, what you've done when I started to sing?" And told him that. And I said, "But thanks to you, I went to every singing teacher to be able to sing like Celine Dion, so I can belt. And I said to him, listen to this recording, how I shout at the end. And he listened. I can do it. But my low voice is much nicer, but I can belt. And he said, wow. I said, it's thanks to you, Daddy. So I close the cycle with
That's
him.
good. That's good. I'm glad you
Oh,
had
it's
that
very
closure.
important. It's
Yes,
very important to close a
to do
cycle.
that for
I
yourself.
close. My mother has Alzheimer, but I talk to her as well. But while because they can still understand things, so I definitely believe in closure, and I closed it. Yeah,
That's good.
definitely.
I
Yeah.
think there's a fine line between the balancing of like guiding your kids, nourishing and holding them accountable, right? Because we want to like, if they're being lazy and they don't want to go to practice and they're not practicing, like let's say their piano, and we want to hold them accountable. We want to guide them. And we also kind of want to let them, as they get older, find their way. So maybe, like, let's
Yeah.
say they don't want to play a certain sport. We can't keep pushing and say, no, I want you to play soccer. You're going to be playing soccer. And if your child is telling you, no, I actually like tennis better, it's our job to listen. And then and the whole process, we need to nurture them. We can't just be,
Absolutely.
because they already get a lot of that from their coach, from their teachers. They need to have that safety place with us and know if they come in second, third, fourth, fifth, it doesn't matter. We will love them and we support them no matter what.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I didn't have it, but that in a way created who I am today. And I'm
that's
here
true.
in this world. I wrote many years ago a song saying "No more Van Gogh." It's not in English, but for me, Van Gogh is an example. When you go to exhibition, because I paint, I love painting, and my soul connected to him. And I see how people are looking at the exhibition and queuing, and he didn't even sell one painting, but he did what he loved. He was following his truth. And I'm here to inspire people not to give up and to let their talent, or whatever it is, it doesn't need to be just glamorous and singing. It can be so many different things. You know, I was on flight and I met someone that is working in a certain job, computer, but now he's fulfilling his dream to be a chef. So he's still working very hard. But I said, that's fantastic. I said, how is
Fantastic.
the wife? How is the wife singing? He said, there is a little bit of problems. I said, okay. She's afraid,
It's a
but
transition. Yeah.
it's a transition. When someone does a change, I know now that I'm losing people because I just want supporting people, around me. So I created an unbelievable video a few weeks ago, and someone that I got close to him and shared with him the journey of traveling, filming. So when I shared with him the video, he didn't react on the same day. The next day, I asked him, are you all right? He said, oh, yes, 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 I was very busy. I don't like the industrial shot in the video. I said, sorry? Someone cannot congratulate me that I managed to make an unbelievable video, all selfie, edited, and there was a shot that he didn't like. So
Oh my goodness.
the new me in the morning, because you don't want to do things when you are hurt. I said, listen, you've been very supportive in the last few months, but I cannot have friends like you that are so judgmental. I'm so busy. I really need only people that can be supportive. It's
Yes.
okay to give criticism, but not as the first thing. Who
Yes.
needs something like that in your life. And I'm so happy that proud of myself because it's the neediness sometimes for love and acknowledgement. No, we know when we are good.
I'm proud of you too, because I was actually going to ask you because in your industry, you're doing a lot of things and you have to be careful, like, what people are closest to you, who's going to cheer you on, who's going to support you. So I mean, this time, if this keeps happening, are you really good about setting boundaries to manage those moments of disappointments so that people are not stealing your joy or your focus, right? And just, you don't need that validation because a lot of us need that validation. So we're willing to take that on.
Exactly. I'm in a place in my life that I'm becoming who I always wanted to become because I'm so open as a person and share my emotions and friendly. I don't have time. I don't have time. I'm now, there is no procrastination. I'm on the go doing stuff. And yeah, so I loved it how immediately I cut it. And another friend, when I told him about big project that I'm doing, he said, Tally, when are you going to wake up? When are you going to wake up? We were in the middle of a restaurant. I,
Wow.
I said, sorry? So yeah, I got goose pimple. I said, look, again, he helped me with the situation of my mother in a different country. I said, you really were supportive. I cannot be friend with you and I cannot continue the lunch. And when I came back to London, he said, Tally, friends should say people what they think. You live in a movie. So I said, that's a great title for my book. And now I saw the new project. It was so supportive. So it's nice also to give a chance.
Yes.
The other one that saw the industrial footage,
Yes. Yeah.
he
That's
kept on of saying
really critical, right? Yes.
he's
I
on
mean, it's good.
himself.
Getting feedback from our friends and supporters. It's good, but it's just the way you word it and how, like you're saying, not immediately. And you can always tell if it's like a good friend giving you a good feedback, or if it's a friend who's either envious, who calls themselves your
Oh, oh,
friend,
oh.
who's stuck in their own life. So they're kind of jealous that you're not scared. You're kind of going after the things that you said you were going to. They said they were going to, but they haven't made one step forward. So for that, they lash out to you to make you small so that you stop what
Exactly.
you're doing. So just being able to distinguish between those type of friendships is key.
Oh gosh,
The real
yes.
friends, the toxic friends.
Absolutely. I don't have toxic people. And just gave you an example of Tiny, and they're such a nice people that help me. But with my dream, because of their own fear, they spoke to me like that. Finito. I
Yes,
cannot be like that. And
finito.
I
I
love it.
agree.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Anyway, I am so hungry.
Okay, okay. We have one last question and we're going to summarize. So, at age 61, you have pursued your dreams, you're living your life to the fullest. What advice would you give to others your age who feel that it's too late to start or still waiting for the right time to follow their dream?
So first of all, I haven't fulfilled yet my dreams. That's
I
why
love it. You're still
I'm
continuing.
really honest when I said life begins at 60 because my potential is only scratching. I know myself. So I haven't fulfilled my dreams yet. Number one. Number two, I would tell them to ask themselves what do they really want? Be very clear to save themselves of what I haven't done. I've done too many styles of music, too many like many managers that wasted my time. So you need to be very clear what you want to do. Start with small steps. Be very honest with yourself. If you just love singing, but not solo, go to choir. YouTube is full of teaching on any subject that you do, but clarity of what you really want and doing small steps. And don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone because people, all these people
Opinions.
that care about you will. So don't tell anyone. That's the most important.
I think that's great advice. To be respectful of your time, I'm going to quickly summarize. I know it's late in Scotland. You've been working all day and you're starving. So we've been so inspired by your story today. Your purpose is clear. You want to inspire others to pursue what they love, regardless of obstacles or timelines. Tally's journey reminds us that with dedication, self-belief, it's never too late to pursue your passion and create the life and legacy you were meant to have. If you're listening right now and there's a quiet voice within you whispering that it's time to follow your dreams, listen to that voice. Don't block it. The time is now. Ask yourself, is my dream still there? Because even if life has caused you to doubt, to lose confidence, or to forget what you once longed for, you still have the power to begin again. Start by knowing what you want, just like you were saying. Take inspired action one small step at a time, because in order to manifest anything new, you must begin living from the energy of already being there. Feel the joy, the pride, the gratitude as if your dream has already come true. That's where transformation begins. Tally, thank you so much for being such a wonderful guest on Female Fluence. All your links will be in my show notes. Is there anything else you would like to leave us with before we end?
Yes, that if people were inspired and they can follow me on all the social media, is Tally Koren. They can send me a message, and I always love to answer, maybe not straight away, but I love to connect with people, especially people that listening to you and actually doing action to become a better version of themselves. So love to connect with your listeners.
I love that. I love you being so open and wanting that, and people will get inspired and learn from you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for spending this time with me here on Female Fluence, where we rise, reflect, and remember who we are. If something from today's episode spoke to you, share it with another woman who's ready to rise too. And before you go, download your free empowerment coaching guide at femalefluence.com. It's your next step toward living with more clarity and confidence. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Mashour_femalefluence. And if you're ready for deeper support, sign up for a free discovery call. I would love to connect with you. Remember, my friends, don't just exist. Live your life fully, bravely, and in truth. I'm Mashour, and until next time, stay true, stay powerful, and stay you.